Welcome to our daily Forex market analysis, and this is for trading on February the 4th, 2021. Just a quick disclaimer here before we get started. This is for educational purposes only. Trading is a risky business, so please be careful with your money. As usual, we'll start off by taking a look at our calendar here. So coming up on Thursday, we have a lot of activity in the market here. First of all, for the pound, we have Bank of England monetary policy report, as well as the interest rate statement here. At this point, not really expecting any change. They're not really looking to go negative at this point, so I would not be expecting any change here. But the commentary can be important. So this is where we'll have to pay attention to what Bank of England is thinking about in terms of recovery after the pandemic. So that will be the most important thing to watch out for. And other than that, we do have unemployment claims here for the US, and if the numbers are as expected, I wouldn't expect much change. It may even be positive for the stock market. If they are worse than expected, then that's something we'll have to watch out for. We also have Reserve Bank of Australia, Governor Lau speaking, as well as the monetary policy statement from Australia as well. So two central banks here. So watch out for that. All right, so let's move on to our charts here. Looking at euro dollar still making its way lower here. The only thing to bear in mind here will be this support resistance level here. Price rejected this level 2 days in a row. It is attempting another push into it. So in this case, bias is still bearish, but we have to watch. We have to make sure price is able to break through the support in order to continue to the downside. So right now we're looking at this candle here. This was a big candle, an inefficient move. So we're looking for this candle to get filled. So bias here is bearish. Target is 1.1920. So bearish bias here for euro dollar. Pound dollar here, this one also looks bearish. Price has been struggling with this range here for quite some time. And finally, we are seeing a move lower here. Now, it hasn't broken through the support yet, so we do need to see a close below the support level for this to continue. But overall, bias is bearish. Next target is 1.3520. So bearish bias for pound dollar as well. Aussie dollar here, this one has, as we can see, price has been trading in this range over the last few days here. So at this point, price is doing a back test into 0.7650. And if it holds here, we're looking for price to drop further here. Now, it could go up slightly as well. So keep that in mind. It can go all the way into 0.7660. Just another 10 pips there. But bias here is neutral. If price holds below this resistance level, which is a strong support resistance level, we're looking for a further move lower back towards the bottom of the range here. 0.7550 is the target. So neutral to bearish bias here for Aussie dollar. New Zealand dollar here, this one is also testing the resistance. This is where prices struggled previously. And as we can see here, price was not able to go through this resistance. And now if we see price is not able to break through, looking for a drop back towards 0.7130. So bias here is neutral for New Zealand dollar, and I'm looking for price to trade lower down here towards the bottom of the range. Dollar CAD here, we have a neutral candle close here. Price has been stuck in this range. It hasn't been able to break through the support. So now if price holds here 1.2750, in that case, we are likely to see a move back higher towards the top of the range. So this one is still neutral here because it's trading sideways at the moment. And the range that I'm looking at here is 1.2750 and 1.2870. So bias here is neutral for dollar CAD. Euro pound here, this one seems like this wants to turn here. As we can see, for last 3 days here, price has not been able to break through the support level, and we may see a move higher here. First target would be 0.8835, and above that we are looking at 0.8850. So neutral to slightly bullish bias here for Euro pound. Euro Swiss franc, this one hasn't really done much over the last a little while here. Last few days it's been stuck in this range. Bias is neutral. We do have a bullish candle close here, so it could go higher into the resistance at 1.0830. And then if it holds below here, we would be looking for a move lower. So neutral bias, I'm expecting it to trade within this range between 1.08 and 1.0830. So neutral bias here for Euro Swiss franc. Pound Swiss franc, this one looks like it wants to drop here. For the last couple of days or last 3 days here, price has not been able to break through the resistance, and we've been getting pins to the upside which show rejection here. So in this case, looking for price to drop further here, and targets here, first target is 1.2235 and then 1.2220, and potentially even lower into 1.2200. So bearish bias here for pound Swiss franc. Dollar Swiss franc here, this one is pushing higher. We do have a slight bullish bias, but the problem is it's right into this resistance here. So if it doesn't go through today's high, this one could get stuck. But there is room for this one to move higher here towards 0.9020. So watch out for that. Still has that bullishness in it. So neutral to bullish bias here. Target is 0.9020. Pound yen here, this one has been struggling in this range for the last several days here. It has that slightly bearish bias to it right now, but we do need to see a break here for this one to continue. So bearish bias here with caution though. We need to see it break through the support and then hold below for it to continue. So in this case, the target is 142.20. So pound yen is looking bearish. Euro yen here, this one is looking neutral to bearish here. So we see that price did try to break through the support and failed. So now what we need to see, again, we need to see if it's able to hold below that or not. So I'm looking for another attempt at the lows. If it breaks through and holds, then and only then are we looking for a further move to the downside here. So bias is neutral to bearish. But again, the caution is we need to see it break through the support. Otherwise, it can go back into the range here. So neutral to bearish bias here. Target is 125.75. Dollar yen here, this one is compressing here. It's pushing higher here. It does have that bullishness here in this, but we do not see that our price has not been able to break through the resistance yet, and this is where the problem lies. So if it fails to hold or go through the resistance, then it can turn around. So this is the biggest concern here, right into the resistance. If it doesn't go through, we're basically looking for a move lower here. So watch out for that. So bias is neutral to bullish, but I would be concerned about this support resistance level as it hasn't broken through. Aussie yen here, this one is still stuck in a range. As we can see, price has been trading in this range for an entire week. So we did have a slight bullish bias here today, but if it fails to go through 80.50, we are looking for a move back into the range. So this one is neutral here, looking for a sideways move here for Aussie yen. New Zealand yen here, in this case, we do have a bullish candle close, but again, we need to see a close out above the resistance level here, and that has not happened yet. So in this case, we are right into this resistance 76.00, and then above that 76.50. But the question is, can it make through this resistance or not? If it fails, basically looking for a move back down then. So if it fails to break through today's high, we're looking for a drop back towards 75.00. So bias here is neutral for New Zealand yen. CAD yen here, this has been struggling with this resistance for quite some time now. As we can see, price has not been able to go through. And with this one, we could see a move back down. So if it holds below this resistance level, we are definitely looking for a move back into the range towards the middle of the range here. So in this case, neutral to bearish bias here. In terms of our target here, we're looking at 81.50 for CAD yen. Pound New Zealand, yesterday we were looking for a drop. We got that and price is right into that support level now. And this is where we have to be careful. If it fails to go through, we could see a move back into the range. This is the range it's been trading in for last 2 or 3 weeks here. And this is where we could see a turnaround. Price doesn't go through. We're basically back in the range once again. So right now, neutral to bearish bias, it is contingent on it breaking the support. If it fails to break the support, then we are basically looking for a move back. So neutral to bearish bias here for pound New Zealand. Euro New Zealand here, we do have a nice bearish candle close here. We were looking for that drop. Now we have had that drop for the last 3 days in a row. Price is into support. So if it fails here, we could see a move back higher again. So watch out for that neutral bias here, neutral to bearish bias. But like I said, if it fails to go through 1.6660, we're back again into the range. And in that case, the target would be 1.6760. EUROCAD here, in this case, we can see price has, price did drop, but it hasn't really gone through the support. So in this case, there is some bearishness in this candle. I will look for a retest of the low of the candle here. And if it fails to go through, we are back towards 1.5420. So neutral to bearish bias here for EUROCAD. Pound CAD here, we were looking for a drop. We did get that. It is right into the support here, and this is where it can get tricky. If it fails to go through the low here, we're looking for a move higher. But right now, it is still poised more towards the downside here. Target is 1.7380. Euro Aussie here, this one is also looking bearish, but again, same thing here. We have to see price hold below 1.5765. So this is where if it fails to do this, it can go back into the range. It has been trading in this range over the last few days, and it can go back into the range. So watch out for that. So bias here is neutral to bearish, but we need to see a break here. And then target is 1.5675. Pound Aussie here, this one was stuck in a range for some time now. This is a strong support resistance level. As we can see, price failed to go through. Nice bearish candle close for the day. And now we're looking for a drop here. So bearish bias, first target is 1.7830 and then 1.7770. All right, looking at our commodities here, starting off with silver. Silver looking bearish here. It did pull back, not quite into that level here, but looks like we could see a drop back towards 26. So bearish bias here, 26 will be the target for silver. Gold here looks like it wants to break through the support here. It has been stuck in this support for a number of days here. And finally looks like it's trying to break through here. So now we need to see a hold below the support level at 1828. So bias is bearish here and target is 1803. Oil here, oil looking positive here, although the candles are getting smaller, but it still has that positive momentum. The comments out of the OPEC meetings were positive. They're looking to reduce the inventories or the surplus inventories that were built up during the pandemic because of the reduced demand. So they're trying to basically get rid of those inventories. So all of that, all the comments that came out of the meeting were positive. They're seeing eye to eye, which is good, and it pushes the price higher. So bias here is bullish. Do watch out though, as the candles are getting smaller, we may see oil lose momentum. It has been quite right higher. And now in terms of the measure moved here, as we can see, or measure move, I should say, price went up. Now we have a flag formation, and this is where we get a measured move higher. So watch out for the resistance here, and this is where we may see price turn or into the high of the day here. If it doesn't go through the high of the day, it could turn there as well. So right now, bullish bias, but with caution. Target is 56.60. Copper here, copper seems to be struggling here with this previous support resistance level at 3.54. It's been held here for the last several days. Now, if it doesn't go through, we are basically looking for a move down, and target here is 3.45. Bitcoin here looking quite bullish. We see price has been moving higher. Bias is bullish, but it's right into this resistance here at 38,550. If it doesn't go through, we are basically back into this range, and this is the range it's been trading in for last several weeks here. And this is still looking neutral at this point, or neutral to bullish here, but it's still going sideways here. It doesn't have a direction yet. It is holding the support though, so it is holding on to that bullishness, but it hasn't gone through the resistance. So we may be in for a little bit more sideways move here. So watch out for that. Bias is neutral to bullish. 38,550 is the next target. And if it doesn't go through, we're back into the range here. All right, equity markets here. Today's candle close neutral here. We didn't see price go through into the high here, and neutral candles can mean that price may turn. So in this case, this provides an uncertainty in the market here. I'd be looking for a drop towards 3,800. So bias is a neutral here, and as long as it holds, we're looking for a drop back down into 3,800. NASDAQ here, NASDAQ went all the way into the resistance, and we have a double top situation here. Nice bearish candle close for the day. So looking for a drop. 13,240 is the target back into the support here. So bias is bearish for NASDAQ. Dow Jones here, this one is looking neutral here. We see that price held here, but if it fails at 31,000, we could see it come back down. So right now, this one is sideways. It hasn't really broken through the support or the resistance. So in this case, as long as it holds below 31,000, we're looking for a drop. So neutral bias here. This one is also trading sideways. It's been trading in this range for last several days. So still looking for that range bound move here for Dow Jones. DAX here looking quite bullish. Now the concern would be we are right into this resistance, and this is where price can turn. So bias is neutral to bullish, but watch out for this 14,000 level, because this is where we may see a drop. And then FTSE here, FTSE neutral candle close, and neutral candles can lead to a change in direction. So watch out for this type of a move. So right now, neutral candle close, and if it holds below 65.50, then I'm looking for a move back into the range here towards 63.50. So bias is neutral to bearish here for FTSE. And we have Nikkei here. Nikkei right into our resistance. We did have a nice bullish candle close, but as we can see, the candle size is getting smaller, which means price can drop. As we can see, it already wants to move lower. Target here is 28,100. So bias is neutral here, neutral to slightly bearish. Looking for it to drop here. So this is Nikkei, and that's it. You guys have a wonderful trading day, and I'll be back again tomorrow. Bye for now.